led by the base chaplain, Major Jesse B. Gekain Chaplain Service.
Let us pray. O God of our fathers, the only source of life, who gives your children the desire to build to your glory and the edification of your people, we gather here today as you give us happiness for this Basa Air Base Edgar Runway rehabilitation groundbreaking ceremony. We ask you, Lord, to bless this site and pray for your special blessing of wisdom and safety upon all the constructors and all those who have a part in the construction process. May your continued blessing be upon us, especially with the enhanced defense cooperation agreement between the United States of America and our beloved country, the Philippines. And may we always prove ourselves a people mindful of your favor and glad to do your will. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Everyone may now be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good afternoon, and welcome to the groundbreaking ceremony of the Basa Air Base Edgar Runway Rehabilitation. At this juncture, may we request the Acting Commanding General, Philippine Air Force, Major General Ramon J. Guiang, Philippine Air Force, for his welcome remarks.
To Senior Undersecretary Carlito Galvez Jr., Officer in Charge, Department of National Defense, Honorable Secretary Frank Kendall III, Secretary of the Air Force, United States of America, Honorable Mary Kay Carlson, United States Ambassador to the Philippines, Honorable Jose Victor Gonzaga, Assistant Secretary for the Office of American Affairs, Department of Foreign Affairs, Major General Jeffrey Echanova, the Deputy Chief of Staff of Plans J5, Major General Agustin S. Malinit, Commander Air Defense Command, guests from the Department of National Defense, General Headquarters, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Headquarters, Philippine Air Force, General and senior officers present for the different branches of service, members of the HPAF staff, local government officials of Pampanga, delegates from the United States of America, men and women of the Philippine Air Force, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am honored to welcome you all to the groundbreaking ceremony of the Basa Air Base Rehabilitation Project, made possible through the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our esteemed guests and key officials from the U.S. who are ably headed today by the Honorable Secretary Frank Kendall III, the Secretary of the Air Force. When we talk about our cooperation, the one thing that comes to mind is our long-standing alliance with the United States. Cooperation and partnership require commitment, effort, communication, and mutual trust and confidence, all of which we, the military, are continuously engaged in and committed to. Considering our engagement with our counterparts, we come to realize the crucial role we feel in propelling our country's diplomacy on the world stage. And this historic groundbreaking ceremony of the Basa Air Base Runway Rehabilitation Project is a testament to that notion. This year, our two nations agreed to accelerate the full implementation of the EDCA. We, in the Philippine Air Force, steadfastly commits to utilize this facility not only to help us modernize our capabilities, particularly on territorial defense, but also to increase our interoperability with the U.S. to effectively respond to our shared security challenges, especially in the region. Moving forward, working with our partners and stakeholders is one of the key enablers in our flight to accelerate the Philippine Air Force with excellence. We are dedicated to learning from our partners as we develop our capabilities, and we are very eager to share our experiences with them as we cooperate to be interoperable with one another. With all that, on behalf of the men and women of the Philippine Air Force, I express my deepest gratitude to the individuals and organizations that made this historical groundbreaking possible. I could think of no better way to demonstrate our gratitude for your contributions to make this EDCA project a reality than by extending my warmest welcome to the Basa Air Base Runway Rehabilitation Groundbreaking Ceremony. To God be all the glory. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, sir.
And now may we request the United States Ambassador to the Republic of the Philippines, Ambassador Mary Kay L. Carlson, for her message.
Hello, good afternoon. What an impressive ceremony that was. Believe it or not, this is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to bury a time capsule under a runway. So that was really, really cool. Distinguished guests, thank you so much for coming to this important groundbreaking, which marks the latest project to strengthen the U.S.-Philippine alliance. We are very fortunate today to be joined by leaders from the United States and the Philippines, including representatives from the national and local levels, as well as from political and defense institutions. I would also like to welcome our Philippine industry partners, whose efforts are absolutely instrumental in constructing this new $24 million runway and other projects on this base. This broad representation of attendees demonstrates the significance of today's groundbreaking. This truly is EDCA in action. The Philippines is our oldest treaty ally in East Asia. I'm happy to say that our 72-year-old alliance is stronger than ever. But you don't just have to take my word for it. We have heard this from President Biden, Vice President Harris, Secretary Blinken, Secretary Austin, and numerous other U.S. leaders. Those are just the top four, all of whom stress our ironclad commitment to the U.S.-Philippine alliance. Our alliance is based on our mutual defense treaty and our respective nations' shared commitment to peace and security in the Indo-Pacific. If the mutual defense treaty is the why, then EDCA is the how. EDCA, or the U.S.-Philippines Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, deepens the defense cooperation between our two great nations. It develops individual and collective defense capacities and provides opportunities for training and exercises like the large-scale and complex Balakatan exercise that is kicking off in less than a month. Our team at the U.S. Embassy, the State Department, and the Department of Defense work together every single day with our Philippine allies to ensure that EDCA projects help modernize Philippine armed forces. These shared efforts are one way that we tackle security and defense challenges together. EDCA also enables the AFP to improve its response to crises, including humanitarian crises and natural disasters, through training, pre-positioning response supplies, and building needed infrastructure improvements. The Humanitarian Disaster Response Warehouse on the other side of this base, coupled with this new runway, will be integral to getting supplies in and out to areas of need. In addition to security and disaster response, EDCA also supports the local economy and creates jobs. Today, representatives from 5 different Filipino-owned companies are joining us. These firms are ensuring that AFP's vision for a refurbished airstrip in Basa becomes a reality. The vast majority of the more than $82 million the U.S. has allocated at the 5 existing EDCA sites goes to Philippine companies, generating economic growth in Philippine communities, employing local workers and sourcing local materials from 80 kilometers to the northeast at Fort Magsaysay to 630 kilometers away in southeast at Cebu. Ultimately, security and safety are key to the prosperity and well-being of the Philippine people. Our response to these challenges, how we cooperate, and how we plan our next steps will determine our future together. Thank you all for the opportunity to join you here at this momentous occasion. It is an honor to see EDCA in action. I look forward to being back for the runway's completion and watching more and more U.S. and Philippine aircraft and crew training, exercising, and operating together. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
May we request the Assistant Secretary for American Affairs, Department of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Jose Victor Chan Gonzaga, to deliver the message on behalf of the Secretary of Foreign Affairs.
Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., Secretary Frank Kendall III of the United States Department of the Air Force, my good friend and collaborator, Ambassador Mary Kay Carlson, Major General Ramon Giang, Acting Commanding General, Philippine Air Force, Major General Jeffrey Hechanova, J5 Armed Forces of the Philippines, esteemed guests, our dear friends and partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. I am honored to represent Secretary of Foreign Affairs Enrique Manalo in today's groundbreaking ceremony of the Baza Air Base Runway Rehabilitation Program, a project of the Philippine-U.S. Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA. In a world where the only thing that appears to be constant is change, we are gratified by our enduring alliance, partnership, and friendship with the United States of America, especially towards advancing our common agenda of peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific. In peace and in war, through natural disasters and pandemics, Philippine-U.S. relations are firmly anchored on the values and principles we cherish. Our two nations are committed to the preservation and enhancement of our national security, attainment of our economic prosperity, and the promotion of the rights and well-being of our peoples. At the core of this bilateral relationship is our defense and security engagement. The United States, as the Ambassador said, is after all our only treaty ally. Our Mutual Defense Treaty serves as the overarching defense agreement between the Philippines and the United States. Together with the VFA and the EDCA, the MDT facilitates cooperation between our two countries across all areas of defense. Over the years, our work together has not only addressed traditional security issues of territorial defense and maritime security, but we have also been cooperating in managing non-traditional security threats and emerging security concerns such as terrorism, cybersecurity, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, and even pandemics. Continued U.S. and defense and security assistance, valued at some $1.8 billion United States dollars over the past 2 decades, has helped the country build its capabilities in defending its territory and addressing non-traditional security threats, as well as in developing a stronger mutual defense posture. The EDCA, in particular, is a key pillar of the Philippine-U.S. alliance. It supports combined training, exercises, and interoperability between our forces. The full implementation of the EDCA will make our alliance more resilient, and it will accelerate the modernization of our joint military capabilities. The EDCA is intended to supplement the MDT and the VFA, particularly in developing our individual and collective capacities in addressing security threats. EDCA projects relating to the construction of facilities and infrastructure upgrades, such as the one we are breaking ground on today, no doubt directly contribute to the enhancement of the AFP's capabilities. They strengthen not only the Philippines, but more importantly, our ability to defend ourselves as allies. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, for over 7 decades, the Philippines and the United States have remained friends, partners, and allies. This is an undeniable testament to the depth and quality of the bilateral relationship that also goes beyond our defensive alliance. But as we look forward to the years ahead, we must also acknowledge that the world has dramatically changed. The most evident challenge that continues to face us is this once-in-a-century pandemic. But this is only one more compelling reason why our relations are so important. And we clearly have to forge ahead with our individual and joint efforts to navigate and manage geopolitical shifts. Whether we gather as we do today for a groundbreaking ceremony of an EDCA project, or during joint military exercises, as we will in a few weeks' time, there is no doubt that our relationship is robust, with our two countries continuing to work together to address common challenges. The Philippines and the United States remain committed to our long and enduring friendship, a friendship rooted in a shared history, strong democratic beliefs, and common values. Thank you, and mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you, sir. We now request the Secretary of the United States Air Force, Honorable Secretary Frank Kendall III, for his message.
Good afternoon, everyone. Secretary Galvez, thank you for inviting me to take part in the groundbreaking for the Basra Air Base runway project. I'd also like to thank Ambassador Carlson, Assistant Secretary Chan Gonzaga, and Major General Guillaume for being here with us to celebrate our defense partnership. Finally, I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to Mayor Manalan Hassan and Brigadier General Fontanilla, who have been strong proponents of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement between the United States and the Republic of the Philippines. You and your industry partners are doing the hard work of revitalizing this runway. Thank you again. You have been incredibly welcoming, and I'm a little disappointed I'm not able to spend more time with you and your team after this event. We hope our partnership here at Basa Air Base and elsewhere in the Philippines has had a positive impact in your local communities, and we appreciate the strong support we've had from both the local citizens and the Philippine government to help in revitalizing our airfield infrastructure. Today's event is a physical manifestation of our Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, a key pillar of the U.S.-Philippine alliance. It builds on our mutual defense treaty that applies anywhere in the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea. As Secretary Austin noted in his trip here last month, our alliance makes both of our democracies more secure and helps uphold a free and open Indo-Pacific. The Philippines is a key ally, and we look forward to working together with our great partners as we advance our modernization goals, increase our interoperability, and advance our alliance. One recent example of how we are that alliance and ensuring we remain interoperable with the Philippine Air Force is through our National Guard State Partnership Program. In January, we sent National Guard airmen from Hawaii to both Basa Air Base and Clark Air Base to conduct several subject matter expert exchanges with airmen from the Philippine Air Force. These exchanges allowed our Air Force to engage in support of shared security goals, the goals that we solidified over 70 years ago in our mutual defense treaty. Our American and Philippine airmen had the opportunity to share cultures and experiences and build deeper trust and support the continuing relationship between our two countries. Our U.S.-Philippines joint exercises are important too. Salakanab, that is happening now, Walakatan, which is happening next month, are critical to strengthen the interoperability of our troops. We're excited to continue advancing our alliance through these exercises that build deeper relationships between our two nations. And we're better partners because of these military and cultural exchanges. The five Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement sites, including the one here at Basa Air Base, are an important expansion of our commitment to the Philippine nation. They will allow more rapid support for humanitarian and climate-related disasters in the Philippines and throughout the Southeast Asia. When Typhoon Haiyan hit in 2013, the United States was able to send over 60 military aircraft and nearly 1,000 U.S. military personnel to support relief efforts. I know with the infrastructure improvement at the EDCA sites, we can better ensure rapid assistance from the U.S. and partner forces during times of climate and humanitarian crisis. Both President Biden and Secretary Austin have said recently, America's commitment to the defense of the Philippines is ironclad. Our alliance makes both of our democracies more secure and helps uphold a free and open Indo-Pacific. We look forward to enhancing our assistance posture strengthening our commitments under the Mutual Defense Treaty. This is my first trip to the Philippines, but it will not be my last. I'm looking forward to continuing to work with our Philippine allies to maintain and defend our shared values of freedom, democracy, and human dignity. We are at an inflection point in history, and our cooperation will help ensure we stay on the path to peace and stability. Thank you, Salamat, for being here to celebrate our partnership and the groundbreaking on this critical runway. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May we request the Officer in Charge, Department of National Defense, Senior Undersecretary Carlito G. Galvez Jr. for his message.
My courtesies and my gracious thanks to Honorable Frank Kendall III, the Secretary of Air Force. Thank you, sir, for coming here. To Her Excellency Mary Kay L. Carlson, U.S. Ambassador of the Philippines, Madam. Assistant Secretary Honorable Jose Victor J.V. C. Gonzaga. Major General J. Giang, Philippine Air Force, Acting Commander, Philippine Air Force. Honorable Darwin R. Mananansan, the Mayor of Florida Blanca, Pampanga. Major General Agustin S. Malinit, the Commander of Air Defense Command. Brigadier General Leo A. Pontenilla, Philippine Air Force, Commander 5th Fighter Wing. General Flag Officers from the Armed Forces of the Philippines present. Officials from the Philippine Air Force, local government units, and Embassy of the United States of America, Colonel Ed. The different project managers headed by Garrett Holdcroft, our dearest friend from the media, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Really a blessed day to us all. In April 2014, former Defense Secretary Volter Gasmin and former U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Philip Goldberg, signed the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, to supplement the provisions of the PHUS Visiting Forces Agreement. Classified as an executive agreement, the Philippine Supreme Court upheld its constitutionality in 2016, January. After almost 8 years of delays and legal challenges, the EDCA implementation is now in full swing. Today, we lay down the time capsule to signify openly the start of the necessary rehabilitation of Basa Air Base as one of the EDCA priorities. As Ambassador Carlson had said, EDCA now is in action. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to announce that out of the 15 approved EDCA projects, 5 projects were already completed. 5 are ongoing, and the remaining 5 are up to implementation soon. The completed projects include the HIDR warehouse, C2 Fusion Center, and the fuel range tanks, and among others. To emphasize, the rehabilitation of the 2,800-meter Basa Air Base runway alone cost $25 million US, or equivalent of 1.4 billion pesos, excluding the improvement of $2.8 million US and the construction of the Wing Operations Center and other facilities. As of this month, March 2023, the United States government has funded a total of $83.06 million US, or roughly 4.56 billion pesos. To simply put, 23% of the 21 bilateral approved projects are completed, while other projects are in various phases of design and construction. With great anticipation, the One Defense AEP team looks forward to the timely completion of all EDCA projects, considering that those facilities would greatly help the Armed Forces of the Philippines boost its capability to ensure the country's defense. Most importantly, the facilities would contribute to the national effort in securing our country's sovereignty and territorial integrity, particularly in our Maritime Domain Awareness campaign. This project, the runway rehabilitation, which is expected to be completed in September 2023, would make Basa Air Base an ideal for efficient conduct of joint task force exercises as a natural hub for the HIDR operations, and especially that we are a disaster-prone country. As we all know, the EDCA not only focuses on boosting the AAP capability, but also on the Department of National Defense various efforts to level up the country's defense capabilities, that is, both the civil and military defense aspect of our country. This includes the capability to respond to natural disaster and calamities, conduct of humanitarian assistance operations, and defense against any attempt to violate our sovereignty and territorial integrity. Moving forward, we hope that the United States of America would consider more EDCA projects, which of course will be coursed appropriately through the Mutual Defense Board, Security Engagement Board, or the MDB is SEB. We also look forward to strengthening further the collaboration of partnership between the AAP and the Joint U.S. Military Assistance Group, or JUSMAG, under Colonel Evans, as they strive to pursue the mutual interests of the Philippines and the U.S. in all arenas of cooperation. Furthermore, we at the DND and the Armed Forces of the Philippines are delighted with the upcoming defense cooperation milestone. I'm referring to this year's Balikatan exercises, which will set many historic firsts. This year's reiteration is the largest Balikatan exercise so far, with around 17,600 participant troops in the combined joint exercise starting next month, April 2023. 12,000 of whom are Americans, 111 are Australians, and 5,000 Philippine soldiers will participate in this very significant event. This year's Balikatan will also be the first to feature live fire exercises in carefully selected areas, and likewise, for the first time, the Australian Defence Force will join in some of the activities. Partnership in the Asia-Pacific region must support our collective pursuit of deeper regional cooperation and sustain economic vitality and resilience, which are essential to the national development and the broader security of the region and also the global domain. Thus, we are very appreciative of the timely endeavor to strengthen the trilateral security pact between the Australia, the United Kingdom, and the United States, or the AUKUS, that aims to ensure regional peace, security, stability, and prosperity. Respected guests, friends, and partners, and allies, be assured that your full support to the Armed Forces of the Philippines at its endeavors to transform itself into a reliable defense force and a strategic player in the region will greatly contribute to our shared pursuit of a free, open, peaceful, progressive, and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. We would like to extend our deepest appreciation to the U.S. government and its people and its armed forces, represented here by Her Excellency Mary Kay L. Carson, by Honorable Frank Kendall III, and all the U.S. forces present now here in the country. Thank you for all the support, and we will forever be grateful to you, Madam Chancellor. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, let me end my remarks by quoting the words of His Excellency President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., and I quote, "In the face of great diversity, we believe that the partnership formed the bridge to unite all of us in promoting peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region. Our global community is only as strong as we make it. We need to ensure that all nations, especially developing countries, are equipped with the tools they need to navigate the uncharted waters in this century." Yan ang quote. Muli, maraming salamat sa ating mga panauhin na dumalo po ngayong araw. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And that concludes our program for this afternoon. May we request our principals to remain standing for a photo session.
Thank you, sirs and ma'am. May we invite our VIPs to proceed at the Bulwagang Bueno for some refreshments. All other attendees may proceed at the ADAC for some refreshments. Thank you.